The recent Israeli airstrike on the Kuwaiti field hospital in Deir el-Balah stands as a stark reminder of the brutal reality of the ongoing conflict in Gaza. This attack, which killed a medic and injured 9 others, represents a blatant disregard for human life and international law. Hospitals, meant to be sanctuaries for the wounded and dying, have become targets in this seemingly endless cycle of violence. The world watches in horror as medical facilities already stretched thin by the overwhelming number of casualties are reduced to rubble. This latest tragedy underscores the urgent need for a ceasefire and a renewed commitment to protecting civilians in conflict zones. The attack on the Kuwaiti field hospital is not an isolated incident. It is a grim reflection of the daily suffering endured by the Palestinian people in Gaza. Trapped in a cycle of violence and displacement, they are denied their basic human rights, including the right to life, health, and security. This latest attack is a wake-up call to the international community, a stark reminder of the human cost of inaction. Israel's control over Gaza's territory has created a humanitarian catastrophe. The establishment of buffer zones, particularly around Rafah, has severely restricted the movement of people and goods. These zones, ostensibly created for security reasons, have effectively turned Gaza into an open-air prison. Over half of Gaza's land is inaccessible to Palestinians, their lives constricted by checkpoints and the constant threat of violence. The consequences of this territorial control are devastating. The United Nations estimates that over 51,000 Palestinians, the majority women and children, have been killed since the start of the conflict on October 7, 2023. The once vibrant city of Rafah is now cut off from Egypt, its residents deprived of vital supplies and opportunities. 2 military corridors, Netzarim and Morag, further dissect Gaza, severing communities and hindering access to essential services. Amidst the devastation, there is a glimmer of hope. A Hamas delegation is currently in Qatar engaged in indirect talks with Israel. These negotiations, while fragile, offer a chance to end the bloodshed and alleviate the suffering of the Palestinian people. The focus remains on the release of hostages, a deeply sensitive issue for both sides. Hamas has shown a willingness to compromise, increasing the number of hostages they are willing to release to 9. However, significant obstacles remain. Disagreements over Hamas's disarmament and the terms of a lasting peace deal threaten to derail the talks. Israel's insistence on disarming Hamas, while understandable from a security perspective, is a bitter pill for the group to swallow. For Hamas, disarmament represents a surrender of their hard-won power and influence. The case of Ghanem Abu Isnaid, an Australian student who lost her right eye during an Israeli Defense Forces raid in the West Bank in November 2024, highlights the human rights concerns at the heart of this conflict. The circumstances surrounding her injury remain shrouded in controversy, with many questioning the official IDF account. The lack of transparency and accountability surrounding such incidents only deepens the mistrust and animosity between Israelis and Palestinians. Ghanem's story is not unique. Countless Palestinians have suffered similar fates, their voices silenced by the fog of war. The international community has a moral obligation to demand a thorough and impartial investigation into all allegations of human rights abuses. Justice for victims like Ghanem is essential for building a lasting peace.